And the vast majority of addiction, and this has already been mentioned by our fellow colleagues here, is that the usul, the foundations, the roots of addiction, their origins lay in trauma. They lay in pain, they lay in suffering, fitna. And us as human beings, unfortunately, especially those of us amongst human beings who don't utilize the guidance of Al-Islam, our default is to cover that trauma so that we don't have to deal with it, so that we shelf it, so that we just put it aside and pretend that it doesn't exist. And what's the easiest way to do that? Get drugged up. That's literally the easiest way, right? And this is actually why Muhammad, peace on him, said, Al-khamr al-khaba'ith. This is why he said intoxication is the mother of evil things. It's the asl, it's the origin of evil things. And we notice many of the vices in our societies are deeply rooted in substance abuse. Things like pornography, things like human trafficking, things like bestiality, things like child molestation, things like drug trafficking, gang violence, all of these things, they're deeply rooted in substance abuse. So this is why the Prophet mentioned that substance abuse or intoxication is the mother of evil actions.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. That is so true. And these are some of the things that that we definitely want to talk about and have to be brought to the forefront, especially as Muslims and non-Muslims as well, but especially as Muslims, who we're mainly talking to here. But as Muslim parents, we deal with substance abuse and peer pressure. We understand that it could be challenging for sure, but the essential approach has always been, you have to approach it with empathy, number one, understanding, and then guidance. And the guidance should always come from the Quran and the Sunnah. And the first thing we should always do, number one, is we make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to strengthen our children and strengthen ourselves. That should be first. And we have to then, after we strengthen ourselves, and we have to, and like the sister said, we have to also be living that life.